We're live. Sarah,
All right.
we're live.
We are live. Hello,
everyone. We are back here on LinkedIn, and I'm still having issues with all windows, but it's fine. Hi, welcome to this LinkedIn Live by Management 3.0. We are happy to have you. Please share in the chat where you're from. And maybe I will be able to load these comments and we'll be able to see them. Ah, yeah, there we see. Hi, Sorav. Hi, Guillermo. Okay, cool. Hi, everyone. Today with me again is my beautiful colleague, Sara Ramos.
Hello.
This was pronounced right?
Very well. Yes.
Oh, okay. That's
I will not try to pronounce your last name, so you're already winning.
So Sara is with me today, and also today we have another special guest, Roberto Ferraro. Maybe you have seen his visual across LinkedIn, and we are super happy to have him here with us today. Hello, everyone out there from Mexico. Hi, Sergio, Dorothy, Liliana, and from Düsseldorf. Hi, Helga. Okay, so I don't want to do much at all today because I leave the stage to Sara and Roberto. And yeah, I will switch off my video. I will be with you in the comments. Keep on commenting. And Sara, over to you.
Thank you, Nadine. All right, so hello, everyone. Welcome again. So as you see here on the screen, there's a map with a lot of blue zones, and these blue zones are not the zones where people live longer. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it. Anyway, this is where our Management 3.0 membership community is. It's basically all over the world. So keep telling us on the chat where you are from. And today I have Roberto here with me. Hello, Roberto. How are you today?
Hello, Sarah. Very happy to be here.
Happy that you are here. So where are you in this map?
Okay, I'm exactly in the middle, in Spain, in Barcelona. Oh, yeah,
there, right? Somewhere around there.
Exactly. Very close to Nadine and very close to you also.
Exactly. I'm just on the other side of the Iberian Peninsula in Porto. So we're not that far away from each other, at least not in the grand scheme of things, like the world, like we can see here. So yeah, I'm sure the people watching us come as well from all over the world. And why are we here? So today we are here to hear from Roberto and his story in this context of the Management 3.0 membership community. And what you see on the screen is our promise. So our promise is that this is a space for you to become the leader that you want to be. And most importantly, that doing it is doing it with others. So yes, you may do this by yourself. It might be a bit lonely, might be a bit stressful, but in the Management 2.0 community, you'll be surrounded by supportive, inspiring, and knowledgeable peers who are on the similar journey to you. So this is our promise. And today we are hoping for you to get to know one of our members, Roberto, a bit better. And I'm sure you will be super inspired to join the community after that, because he's pretty awesome. All right, Roberto. So tell us a bit more about you.
Okay, so besides living in Spain and being Italian, and by the way, Nadine pronounced very well my name and surname, it's not easy. Yeah, I've been working in transformation project most of my professional career, and I also love technology and all these things. And one of the things that I realized early and especially and later in my career is that it's not only and always about technology and doing things, but it's more about the people and how we manage all the relationship and change and all these things that today we have a lot of this. And this is also one of the things that maybe realize that in the importance of what staying a little bit open to what's outside the organization, to see what other interesting there are, or what are new ways to do things that not always works inside, but just to know and be curious. So this was why in the beginning I started to look for communities and for things related to management, to innovation, to personal development, which, by the way, I have many interests. And this is one of the things that also attracted me to management.io, which is a lot of different perspectives and a lot of inputs and ideas from all over the world, as we saw.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is short story.
You're missing a chapter on that story, the one that I love, which is your illustrations on LinkedIn. So tell us more about that, and how did that start? And if you're watching and you don't know Roberto's illustrations, go and check them out because they're awesome.
This is fun. This is a very fun story because actually one of the things I was experimenting some years ago was with blockchain and with mining, and I had a small mining farm in my garage. And so with this experiment, I said, okay, let's try to do something. Remember the NFT 2 years ago was all about NFT. Yes. It was the top of the hype. So I said, why not try something? And I was following one of these amazing creators, which, by the way, is also on LinkedIn, which is Janis Orsolinks. And as a way to support his work, I bought one of his NFT. And by buying his NFT, by the way, I sent him a message and said, oh, I love your work. And I bought this. And he said, okay, do you want to access the course? And I said, yeah, the course, you have a course. Yeah, of course. With the NFT, you have access to the course. So I checked it. I liked it. And then I started to do stuff. And in the beginning, it was like a game, and especially with my daughter, which, by the way, is one of my biggest advisors on quality of illustrations today. Yeah. Okay. And what started as a game is still a game, but now my daughter is not the main character. I do everything.
You do the drawings, and now she puts them on the fridge.
Exactly. She does consulting and do all the stuff. And it's really fun because it's a way to connect things that I like. I read an article, I try to synthesize, I do the illustration, and then I also connect with the people who do the article. So it's very fun. It's a very fun process. And I mostly do it for myself, I would say, because if it wasn't so fun, I would not do it, because it's quite an investment of time. And by the way, thank you for my family for having the patience to wait for me. But okay, it's something that's really fun and has some, let's say, benefits, which is knowing people and getting deeper into something, and experimenting with media and with creation and all these things that very, very nice to play with it.
Yes, and it adds value to everyone who and have the opportunity to understand the content of the articles and the things that you share about a bit better, because visualization has that power, right? So today we shared one of your illustrations about communities and the value of community. And by looking at it, you don't really need to read anything else. You understand. So that's the power of illustration and visualization.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about communities and the value of communities, I want to ask you, so I know you are part of more than one community. What value do you get from being a member?
Well, I believe that the more you have connection with different environment, the more inspiration you may get. Even if there are not immediate connection, for example, what can be the relationship between illustration or creator and management? Well, yeah, there can be, because I can use the illustration to visualize and to understand better something. At the same time, I'm a member also of the coaching community of CTI, which I finished lately my core curriculum, and I love it. This is one of the things I love very much. And I also have, of course, internal communities in my company and in-person communities. Of course, it's not only online. Yes. But what the most thing that I love is that perhaps the connection between all of them, and something that perhaps is not related immediately to one community, you can then take it and use it as an inspiration to do something different inside or outside, for example, in work, or for example, in coaching. Sometimes I have, after a session, I remember a visual and I send it to the person. I say, oh, now I remember this. And it's a way to build the relationship in a different way and to interact. So it's really interesting,
Yeah.
and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's for me, I'm hearing the inspiration and then also the cross-pollination sort of, right? From one side to the other. And as you said, having access to different contexts sort of enhances your ability to make sense of whatever you are trying to achieve. Right?
Exactly, and sharing also, because sometimes people in one community are not aware of something in the other community. So you take something, for example, let's say, you remember the laughter yoga, which is an amazing practice that by the way, I get to know thanks to the Fast Track program. And this was an example that I didn't know. And then I talked to other people about the laughter yoga, and maybe who knows what we're going to do with that.
Yes.
So I would have never known that if it wasn't for Jacqueline in this case. So this is a nice example.
Yes, big shout out to Jacqueline if she's out there. So Jacqueline is one of our members, another one of our members, and she hosted a laughter yoga check-in for one of our sessions, and it was amazing. Yeah. More than one people have told me that was the most memorable experience in the community. So this is an example of how anyone can bring their talents and their skills into the community, share them. And that might, inspire others to do something else. Like you said, like now more people know about laughter yoga because someone took, 10 minutes of their time to do
Absolutely. That. Yeah. And that when you say that, it reminds me of another very amazing phrase that I heard in my coaching training was that your vibe attracts your tribe, which means that if you put out there what you like, probably the people who doesn't care will not tell you anything, but there is a chance that someone who will also like this will tell you, oh, I also love this. And I would never know if you didn't go first. Or the other way, someone who doesn't know, they say, oh, this is interesting, tell me more. So this is the back and forth that I really love about this.
Yeah. And we in the Management 2.0 community, we have our private platform and our exclusive events that are unique and exclusive to the community of the members. And it seems to me that you have a lot of interesting connections and inspiration inside the community in those events and platform, but also outside. How do you see this connection between inside and outside the community?
Well, it's a great way to put it. Exactly, because inside you have exposure to something that normally you would not have, because you curate the session, you prepare, and then there are topics, and so you go deep into something. But at the same time, you get to know people, you practice with them, and then you do an exercise, and then I usually connect outside of the platform, and then I had also a one-on-one chat just to get to know interesting members of the community, and it was really great. And this is also a way because we share things outside, we share things inside, and then maybe we get to be in another event someday. And it's like, what's it called? It's weak ties, as they call usually with people. You have a relationship, you have something in common, and you know there is something, you can count on them, and vice versa. Sometimes some people ask me for some advice or whatever, and I'm more than happy to share, because this is also one of the beautiful things of this community, that it's made for sharing. It's not just take, and the most you put, the most you get. So the more you put and the more you get, it's and you don't have to think about, oh, okay, I'm going to do this because then I get that. It's just flows, let's say.
Yes, it's natural, it flows. Yes, I like that. Yes,
exactly.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. The more you put in, the more you take out. But it's not like a scale that always needs to be balanced, right? Sometimes there's moments where you give more, and then there's other moments where you take more. But in the end, it's a positive experience in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And also when you connect, I will connect that to the multiple communities. Sometimes you're giving in one place, and then you're getting more in another because you are new, you're absorbing information. So it doesn't matter. In every part also of our life, we are giving more or taking. And we don't take the count and go, okay, this is 1 + 1. Okay. As long as it's fun and it's aligned with your values and your interest, it's a win. And I always say, by the way, that when I show someone something that they ask me sometimes opinion, I'm the person who learns most, because when you have to explain something to another person, you have to get it better in your mind. You have more clarity after explaining than before. So it's a win-win always.
Yes, yes. You're reminding me of two things. One was this great feedback we once got. I think it was Joe from Canada. And he said that doesn't matter how often he interacts with the community, when he joins the session or is present in the community, he feels welcome. And that makes me very happy, because that's exactly what I was hoping for. Like, I know we all have busy times and busy lives. So yes, no one can be there every session, every day in the community, answering to questions, asking questions. Like, it's unrealistic, right? So I love that people feel comfortable to come, be there when they can, then maybe focus on other areas of their lives, then return. That for me is very positive, very healthy. So there's no sort of guilt involved of being a part of the community and not interacting for a little bit or a big bit if it happens, and then returning. So I really like that. And that reminded me of something you shared with me, of how you organize your community sort of engagement to make sense of the calendar. So that you look at the calendar and you choose one session per month, right? To make sure you attend. Exactly. Usually that's what I try to do. And I take one session, and this session is, I try to be 100% there. And sometimes I also made mistakes and try to, I will like that and that. And then what happens? You cannot attend, or you attend and you're doing something else. And I said, no, it doesn't work like this. I prefer much more to be in 100%, participate, take the most, and interact with the people and have fun also, because it's also about having fun. Yes. And the most I can, perfect. But if one month I cannot, no guilt, I'm still here. And as you said, it's a very good point. We don't feel the pressure to be there X times a week, X times more. You have time, you want to participate, amazing. Not, and you will be welcome in the next. So this is also, yeah. Awesome. So Roberto, we keep talking about the community. And in the beginning, we talked about our promise, which is to support our members in becoming the leader that they want to be. So I wanted to ask you, what does leadership mean to you? What is this thing of, for you, becoming the leader that you want to be? And why is this goal easier to achieve with the community? Great question, $1 million question. And yes. I probably believe that everyone has its own definition of leadership, and there is no one definition. My definition would be, I love the phrase, leaving the place or everything better than I found it, which is also starts, by the way, with myself. So I would say the first leadership, being aware of my feelings, of what I like, of what I don't like, what triggers me. There's something of course that triggers me as everyone, and get to know myself and how to manage my emotions and all these things. And also being aware of our limitations and not to go 10 places at the same time, because then you stretch yourself too much and you cannot be there when you're needed. So the first thing I would say is that self-leadership. And then when you are aware and when you manage yourself, you can do something about there is an amazing quote that I love from, I don't know if from Jay Shetty or someone, I've heard it from Jay Shetty, was the cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So yes. First fill your cup. So it's very, very egoistic. It looks like, first me. Yes, first me, because then I can take care of interact with others. If I'm not okay, I will not be a good leader. I will not be a good team member. I will not be a good dad or good parent. So it's more, by the way, it's not only about work. It's about how I present myself in the world, what I express, what values I express. And one of my core values, which is related to leadership, is making an impact, sharing, connecting, and improving. Improving myself, first of all, and improving the environment, the people I interact with, and have fun in the process. So this would be my definition. Perhaps it's a bit long, but this is how I feel it. Yeah. And how do you think How do you think the community is supporting you in that? And while you think, I just want to say, for everyone watching, if you have questions for me, for Roberto, don't be shy. It seems like you're a bit shy today. Nadine is telling me that no one has questions, but it's fine. You can ask. It's going to be a conversation with you as well. But now back to you, Roberto. How is the community supporting you in achieving all of that definition of leadership for yourself?
Well, I would say many ways. The first would be connecting and sharing things with other people who also have your same values, which is fundamental. And then having fun and making the process of learning fun. So this fun that we experiment in the community, we can take it wherever we want. We can have fun during your workday. Of course, we will not be smiling 100% of the time, but this is something that I see that it can be done. And this is also connect with the inside outside that we were talking about before. We see something outside, we see how to facilitate a session, how to learn, at the same time have fun and have good connection with people, we can bring it inside. So it's very, also a very safe way to experiment and to try things. And then when you are confident, you can try whatever you want.
Yes, that's one of the sort of perks that we hope the community members will have. It's that this is a safe space to experiment. Because as you said, everyone's definition of leadership or the leader that they want to be is different. And we were talking to Davis last week as well in the live, and he said, actually, when I joined the community, I had all of these questions like, what kind of leader do I want to be? What kind of leadership style do I want to have? And so having all of these questions is absolutely natural. And so when you join the community, you can kind of experiment. You can be in touch with people who have different styles to you, who work in different cultures as well. And different cultures also shape the way you interact with others. The system, again, is different. And so it is really a safe space to experiment and figure out for yourself, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does leadership mean to me? What makes me comfortable? What will help with my team or any team in the future? So that is a beautiful mindset to be in the community. And I'm very proud when people say that they found that space there. So, yeah.
And it will change over time, of course. My definition is not the same today that 2 years ago,
Exactly.
4 years ago. So it's changing constantly. And if it doesn't change, it's also fine, but probably it will change.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, Roberto, do you have any questions for me or something? I don't know. I have one last question for you, but I wanted to open the floor.
Oh, yeah. Maybe the question is, what do you like most about being the community manager of
What do I like the most?
Yeah.
I can share with everyone something that happened this morning. So I sat in my computer in the morning, thinking like, okay, Roberto is expecting a list of questions that I need to send him. And I was feeling behind, like I didn't send them last week. I need to send them like early. And I was like starting to write, and I get a message from you with a list of topics to cover. And I was like, thank you. And this is community. So this is what I like the most in the community, is when we co-create, when there's this feeling of being together, building something that we'll all benefit from, that we'll all grow from. So that's what I love the most, be it in situations like this, where you proactively prepare the session, or when someone volunteers to host a practice session, or when someone says, I have this topic that I would like to discuss with the community, or when someone volunteers to regularly host sessions like Dan and Juan are doing for the leadership gym. So these are the best moments, when there's this energy that we are creating together and it's palpable.
Wow, I love that. And by the way, this reminds me also that as a leader, we don't have to have all the answer and know what to do step by step. It takes a lot of pressure out of whatever we think, because we don't have to be right. We don't have to know everything. We can ask the people, and then If there is a safe space, each one is contributing, then you can take something and okay, this is okay, or what do you think? So this is a great example. I love that.
Yes.
And by the way, we are not following the scripts. So
No, we're roughly just very lightly following the script.
Yeah.
But that's what preparation is for, right?
Exactly.
It's just to make us feel better and something to have to fall back on if we get stuck. Yeah. But if we're prepared, we don't need to follow the script. So, Roberto, my last question to you. What would you say to anyone who is listening and is still hesitating to join the community?
Good question. Well, I would say to give it a try, and to what we said before. The more you put, the more you get, and don't stress about it. So has not to be an obligation, has to be something that feels like play. And if it feels like play, then you will learn and we will have fun and we will do many interesting things. Try. So it's, of course, my experience is amazing. And I would recommend it definitely to everyone who's interested in discovering, as you said, new ways of leadership, knowing interesting people, and making this connection inside, outside, and getting inspiration.
Yes,
100%.
Thank you, Roberto. I love that. Try it out, experiment. That is one of our biggest mottos in Management 3.0. As you said, we don't need to have all the answers. We don't have all the answers, but we can experiment and we can figure those out together. So before Nadine comes back online, or while she does, I want to share with everyone a bit more about the community. So the community is a space for you to become the leader that you want to be and to maybe even figure out what that is and to do it together with others. So by joining the Management 2.0 membership community, you'll be surrounded by supportive, open, and inspiring leaders. And by the way, these are not my words. These are the words that people used in a recent feedback survey. And now I'm just basically always using these words because they are not mine, and that makes me very happy. You will also learn with others how they have successfully applied Management 2.0, and maybe also how they were not successful when they tried, but what they learned from it. And also a judgment-free zone of support to apply your learnings to your challenges. And then if you're wondering, okay, sounds great, what's included, what's specific? There are several perks. I will not go into all of this. You can find this information online. What I will highlight is the first one here on the list, which is the Fast Track program, which is a 5-week program that will start next Monday, where we explore one of the Management 3.0 principles, one each week. And there's a live session where we'll sort of share experiences around that principle. For example, co-creation, that would be a principle. Another principle would be manage the system, not the people. And then after that session, there's a weekly challenge. So this is really a great opportunity to accelerate your learning, to put it into practice right away, and to get to know your community very quickly and build those connections that Roberto was talking about earlier. So doors don't close in 5 days. That is wrong, because doors close today. So you really don't want to miss this opportunity. Doors close today. I'm actually going to stop sharing and change that, just so not to make no one confused. So if today, see, this is a safe space to experiment and to put on LinkedIn a wrong slide. And now it's the right slide. Doors close today. And so send your application in. I can't wait to hear from you. Nadine, you're back. Tell us how was the experience on that side?
Wait, I have to search for an emoji. Now I'm ready. We really had a lot of people watching. So thanks, Roberto. It seems like you attracted the crowd.
It's a combination. It's a combination. Yeah.
And there were a lot of reactions, people applauding, people giving hearts. They were a bit shy, as I already told Sarah. So if you have any more comments now's the time. You can put them in the chat. But yeah, it was so nice to hear your story, Roberto, and to learn more about you, and to get to know you a bit better, the one behind all these brilliant visuals which we watch and look at every day. So thank you so much, Roberto.
Thanks to you, Nadine and Sarah. It was really fun.
Yes, and I'm particularly impressed of how you rode the crypto hype wave, and then you landed here. So
From one hype to the other.
Exactly.
Now was next one.
It's a more sustainable progress, I hope so. So just for the records for everyone out there, because links are not getting displayed well, but actually our website is not too difficult. www.managementfree0.com/community. This is where you can sign up, where you can apply for the community. Maybe one word on the application, Sarah, because usually people are worried when we say application.
Yes, this application is nothing stressful or difficult, and it's not a process to judge you and your experience in any way. Our intention with the application is to really understand you, to get to know you a bit better. So we'll ask you to tell us a story of something you did to get closer to this leader that you want to be. And then we'll ask you what you can bring to the community and what you want to get out of the community. And really, we take a paragraph, we take 5 paragraphs. What is important is that you share a bit of yourself. So the person reviewing the applications is me. I hope you've already felt the vibe that I hope to transmit, that there's no judgment, that is just really learning and support for each other. So it starts in the application. Just tell me a bit about yourself and you'll go through, and tomorrow you'll be at our welcome party. That's my biggest goal right now.
Exactly. I'm always looking forward to these welcome parties because they're so much fun. So today is the last day to apply. Tomorrow's the big welcome party day, and we are hoping to see you there. Anything else we missed, Sarah, Roberto?
I don't think so. What about you, Roberto? Anything else?
I don't think so.
No?
Okay.
That's it.
Then
Come hang out
I'll
with
take
us.
Marty to say goodbye. Have you ever met Marty, Roberto? This is Marty.
Yeah, I have something similar.
It's matching your t-shirt.
I have this and this as well. What do you want?
Excellent. I'm saying goodbye to you out there on LinkedIn. We are hanging around, out. I mean, we continue our chat here, and well, thank you all for watching.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Roberto,
Thank
so
you.
much for taking the time to join us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.